Hello guys and welcome back to our channel Barca Admirers for your daily coverage of all the latest news updates and transfers roundup regarding Barcelona. In today's episode, we continue covering all the reports about the possible replacements of Ronald Koeman, although he seemed to be adamant that he still won't leave the club. Meanwhile, some interesting reports have surfaced regarding the selection of tactics by the manager and they are quite surprising. While on the other hand, Pedri Gonzalez has sustained a new injury and the reason has also been discussed, and a new English winger is being targeted by the club in the summer as a potential transfer target along with many more such updates. So make sure to watch this video till the very end without skipping over any part. For the first news update of the day, we have a report by Spanish news publication Diario AS. It states that Barcelona are 92% out of the Champions League. Only 8% of the teams that have lost the two first matches of the group stage went on to the second round. Barca have not been ruled out of the knockout stages for the Champions League in the last 21 years. Reporting further on the issue, Sports states that Laporta and Koeman did not even speak once on the plane to Barcelona from Lisbon. The president slept while Koeman chatted with Alfred Schreider while sitting on the same row. Their only exchange of words was a customary goodnight, something that did not go unnoticed among the players. Top-tier journalist Tony Juan Martí also confirms the same. He stated in his report that Koeman did not work on the 3-5-2 formation with the players until a few hours before the game in Portugal. Some of the players did not even know if they would start in the lineup until the day of the game, and the locker room was very much surprised. As far as replacements for Ronald Koeman are concerned, Spanish news publication Mundo Deportivo states that Laporta admires Thomas Tuchel a lot. But the problem is that he has a contract until 2024 with Chelsea. Jurgen Klopp is also a coach whom the president has been following closely for a long time. Rangnick is also considered but as a short-term option. The report further states that Rangnick has joined Laporta's list of candidates. He is full of good references, but his track record is very scarce. In the Bundesliga, he has coached middle-class or upper-middle-class teams at the time, such as Schalke, Hannover 96, Stuttgart and Hoffenheim, apart from RB Leipzig. At this moment, Ralph has a contract as the manager of Lokomotiv Moscow, and in addition, he asks for full powers, something that does not yet convince Laporta. Very surprisingly, Italian journalist Mirko Calemi reports that there are new and important contacts between Andrea Pirlo and Barcelona. There is a proposal for the Italian who is currently thinking about it. According to yet another Italian journalist, Giacomo Jacobellis, Laporta wants Pirlo and there has been formal contacts with him. The manager gave his availability as terminating his contract with Juventus, which runs until 2022, should not be a problem. However, the reports on Pirlo are not so positive, and the board members continue to think about Xavi. Top-tier journalist Fernando Polo has also confirmed the same. In his latest report, he stated that Joan Laporta really likes Pirlo as it reminds him of Rijkaard from 2003, although reports from his first year at Juventus have held back the club's interest. As for the other options, journalist Juan Battiori reports that Barcelona have discarded Marcelo Gallardo as an option due to the impossibility to bring him in within the current rules. He has a contract with River Plate and it is impossible to break. Speaking in one of his most recent interviews, Gallardo himself confirmed the same. He said that everyone knows that he wants to fulfill his contract which expires in December. Leaving River Plate is something that does not occur to him right now. As for yet another option, Spanish news publication Cadena Ser reports that there has been absolutely no contact between Belgium and Roberto Martinez about a possible move to Barcelona. Just like Gallardo, Martinez also confirmed it himself. He said in his latest interview that there is absolutely nothing with Barcelona. He wants to fulfill his contract until the very last day. But then again, it's also true that many circumstances may arise along the way. We have yet another name on the list as Catalunya Radio reports that Erik ten Hag is still Joan Laporta's favorite candidate to replace Ronald Koeman. Providing somewhat of a summary of the current situation, journalist Xavi Campos reports that in addition to the likes of Pirlo, Xavi, Roberto Martinez and Marcelo Gallardo, Barcelona are also considering a Central European coach whose name has not yet been revealed. He is also a real possibility to take on Koeman's spot in the Blaugrana dugout. As for the current situation of Ronald Koeman, journalist Luis Mascaro reports that kicking Koeman is easy. The difficult thing is to finding a replacement. Going back to the 3-5-2 and forgetting about the homegrown players was the last straw to Laporta's patience. Xavi, Martinez, Pirlo and Gallardo are still some of the best options for the president. However, Ronald Koeman appeared a bit adamant in his most recent press conference. He said that he wants to remember Louis van Gaal with this particular phrase. Then he repeated the phrase "good morning" to his friends in the press. Surprisingly, Louis van Gaal also said this in his last press conference for Barca. He congratulated the press back then, and then he said that they have done their job because he is leaving the club. But Koeman seemed to reaffirm that he is still staying at the club. He knows that it always depends on the results and it is the most normal thing. His intention, however, is to follow the plan. The club has not told him anything and he has found out that the president has come but he has not seen him. He has his ears and eyes of his own and he is very much aware of the situation around him. Even President Joan Laporta himself confirmed in a press conference before the Atletico match that Koeman will continue to be the Barca coach. He deserves a margin of confidence above all for being a Barcelona legend. He said that he appreciates very much that Koeman assumed to be the coach in the moments of maximum difficulty and he has recovered his spirits. However, after yet another unconvincing performance against Atletico Madrid, Ronald Koeman said in the post-match press conference that in some phases of the game they were fine, but they made some serious mistakes like in the first goal. There were things that they had already talked about before. They may not have had very clear chances, but they could have done more harm. This issue has a solution, but not from today or tomorrow. They must give young players time. Even Captain Gerard Piqué honestly admitted that right now it's very complicated and they are suffering. He said that they could be playing football for 3 hours against Atletico Madrid and they still would not score a goal. Former Barcelona player Luis Suarez, who scored a goal in the match and also racked up an assist, however, said that he is just one more Barca fan, another killer, and he knows that his former teammates and fans are having a really hard time. Meanwhile, Sport reports that after the match, Koeman explained to Laporta that when he has all his players available, the team will improve rapidly. Laporta understood the coach's circumstances and promised him his confidence. Moving on to the next news update, Spanish news publication Mundo Deportivo reports that within Barca, there is concern about the physical preparation of the team, something that has been very evident in the last European debacles and a problem admitted by Ronald Koeman publicly. Faced with this particular situation, the club wants to create the position of director of high performance, someone who is dedicated to supervising that the team has a top physical preparation in order to compete with the European greats on a physical level as well. The report further stated that Laporta has found out that the team trains approximately 4 hours less every week than other European top clubs. He is very upset about this and now he will shortly introduce the high performance director role. Laporta believes that the current physical preparation of the players is simply not enough. For other clubs, the players spend 8 hours of training per day, while Barca players spend only around 2.5 hours. With such meager amounts of physical training, it's of course absolutely normal that the players will have to suffer from more injuries, and they definitely are going through it. A Spanish news publication Diario AS reports that Pedri Gonzalez is out because he has a muscle injury in the quadriceps of his left thigh. The midfielder is suffering from the discomfort he had in the Bayern Munich match, which caused him to miss 3 games. Reliable journalist Javi Miguel reports that Pedri could be out for around 2 to 3 weeks according to those in the dressing room. Therefore, he will also not reach the Nations League with Spain. Talking about the upcoming international break, we have official confirmation that Frenkie de Jong, Memphis Depay and surprisingly Luke de Jong also have been called up by the Netherlands for the upcoming international fixtures. Going to the next news update, Spanish publication Sport reports that Barcelona have held a first face-to-face meeting with Ansu Fati's agent Jorge Mendes in Lisbon to talk about the player's contract renewal. The two parties agreed to continue maintaining contacts in the upcoming days. The same source has also brought up a very interesting piece of news. It states that Ansu Fati's move to OGC Nice was pretty much done. In early 2019, Barca had accepted his departure. It was so advanced that even his father posed with their jersey. The move fell through at the last second due to some complications with his passport. Up next, we have the comments of La Liga president Javier Tebas. Speaking in a recent interview, he said that clubs go through good and bad institutional moments, and right now, Barcelona is going through it. However, they are a great club and any problem is always very big. But then again, the big clubs always come out ahead of the others. Surprisingly, for once, Tebas did not take shots at Barca. He said that things are greatly exaggerated and being a great club, everything is enlarged. But then again, we have ended with a major pandemic in which Barca have suffered a lot, maybe more than other clubs due to the income structure that people forget. However, he said that he is confident that Barca will definitely come out of it. As far as the financial side is concerned, we have some official statements released by the club. The club has provided details for members on the end of the financial year for the last season and the budget for this season. With 631 million euros revenue and 1.136 billion euros expenditure, the balance sheet for the 2020-2021 shows a 481 million euro loss after tax payments. The club will present a budget for the 2021-2022 season with 765 million euros of income before the members' representatives, 21% higher than the last season. The said increase mainly comes due to the recovery of income from the stadium, thanks to the reopening of the club's facilities and particularly matches at the Camp Nou. In conclusion, the club predicts an end to the financial year with a loss of 19 million euros in costs that is compensated by a net financial position of 23 million euros, and these projections give a result of 5 million euros in the positive. With all that, we come to an end for today's news roundup. Now moving on to the transfer section. For the first one, we have a report by Spanish publication TV3. It states that Barcelona will make an effort to sign Raheem, the 26-year-old forward from Manchester City in January. The club were close to signing him in the summer already. Going to the next transfer update, German news outlet Bild reports that more suitors are showing interest in Karim Adeyemi, who is currently being closely followed by Barca. Wolfsburg have already contacted the 19-year-old German forward, who is also on the agenda of Bayern, Leipzig and Liverpool. That's all the news we could collect for you today. If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon, select all and enable all the YouTube app notifications. We have always been overly impressed by your response to our videos. So in this episode, we have decided to set a target of 550 likes. Please Coolers, help us reach our target on this episode as well. Now that's all we have for today's episode. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Until then, stay safe. Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalunya.